Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide. It's your boy Big Will, and I'm back with that boxing talk. Alberto Machado drops the decision against Ghana's Rafael Mensah. His first title defense wasn't nearly as difficult as his fight with Panama's Corrales. The Puerto Rican Machado was just too big, too strong, and too good for Mensah in their fight last night for the WBA. I don't know if it's super featherweight title or regular title. It was thought that Gervonta Tank Davis was the super champion, but when they announced Machado last night, they called him the super champion. And Gervonta Davis on Twitter last night corrected them and says, "No, I am in fact the super featherweight champion for the WBA." So I hope they get this cleared up, man, so we as fans can know who in fact is the champion. But Machado won every round on all three scorecards, 120 to 107, to win a unanimous decision in the first of two bouts on the HBO broadcast last night. Now the show was at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino at the Joint, and it was a pretty decent card. For as I could see, man, I liked the second fight between Munguia and Smith, but this fight here, it showed me that Machado is pretty good, man. He's pretty good. He was catching Mensah clean, man. He was catching him clean with a lot of straight lefts, a lot of rights. Mensah's whole side of his face was swelled up. They said that his jaw may have even been broken. I'm going to do some research on that and check that out. It didn't seem like his jaw was broken because he wasn't reacting like it was broken when he was getting hit repeatedly on that side of his face. But now the question is, can Machado and Tank have a good fight? Will they fight? They both have around the same amount of experience. They're both around 20, somewhere around 20 fights. Machado is obviously the taller guy, but what I did see is Machado started to fade a little bit in the later part of the fight. He had Mensah hurt quite a few times, but he could not get him out of there. I believe had that been Tank would have definitely got Mensah out of there. In fact, Tank stated that he had Mensah in his training camp for his last fight and against Cuellar, and he stopped Mensah in sparring. I know sparring's not an actual fight, but it does tell you something about the levels here, and I do believe that Tank may be on a different level than Machado. That's not 100%. They would have to fight for us to really see who is better. But I'm going to lean towards Tank. I just think he's more explosive. But I will not count Machado out. Machado has a nice jab. He's taller. He has the reach over Tank. He's young. He's hungry. And I'm looking forward to seeing this fight. I hope they can get it made. Golden Boy and Al Heyman, the history between these two sides may make it difficult for us to get that fight. But I'm curious to see what you fans think about who would actually win that fight. Do you think it would be explosive? Do you think it would be a good fight? Do you think Tank will go in there and wipe him out? Do you think Machado will edge Tank out? Leave your comments in the comment section. Tell me what you think. But I do think Machado looked good last night. An aggressive Machado made Mensah fight off his back foot a lot during the fight. Machado consistently, he landed his straight lefts and right hooks. Mensah struggled to keep Machado off of him, man. People were talking about, Tony Weeks should have stopped the fight, that Mensa's corner should have stopped the fight. But Machado dropped Mensa. He buckled him. He buckled his legs. He landed a straight left hand with about 10, 15 seconds to go in the fourth, man, and it looked like that the next round, in that fifth round, that he would be able to take Mensa out, but he didn't. But he found a home for a straight left, and throughout the fight, he looked too much for Mensa. And Mensa was definitely outclassed, but he definitely showed the heart of a champion. He was in there, and he was trying to fight. He was trying to fight. I do think he could have done a little bit more, but Machado wasn't allowing him to. So I'm curious to see what you guys think about a possible fight between Alberto Machado and Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, I do believe the 130-pound division is wide open, and I do believe that we will have an undisputed champion, simply because we have a couple vacant titles, and usually when you have vacant titles, the guys who win them aren't necessarily the guys who deserve them. But that's for another video. That's for another conversation. But that's all I got for now. It's your man Big Will for Big Faces Worldwide. I'll holler back.